Name, Andrew Duncan. I was a dredging contractor for 32 years. I did a count last night on the number of boats that I've had. I got up to 18 and I know that there's a couple missing somewhere. I went over to Western Australia and this is what I found. I've named it Black Witch. It had supposedly been serviced regularly and very well.
My name's Matt Inman and I'm the owner of R&M Marine Services here in Rosebud on the Mornington Peninsula. We primarily specialise in Volvo Penta and Mercruiser. When I first saw Black Witch, I was quite surprised on on the condition that it was in. It was in an average condition. And obviously we checked over the engine and found that there's quite a few dramas there. So
one of the bearings in the drive had let go up top between the engine and the unis. Done quite a bit of damage in the meantime. Substantial, bit over $10,000 worth.
Now I know why I called it Black Witch, just for that reason, because I think it's just been an absolute witch of a boat to him. Probably from a mental point of view and a financial point of view, I think. When
we started going over it, we took 2 injectors out and found that there'd been a bit of pitting in the bores due to water ingress at some point in time. And then we took extra bits off the engine, cover plates on or end plates off the heat exchangers. There were blockages in those that just shouldn't have been there. It should have been attended to.
Andrew sort of decided that he'd, for reliability factor and warranty and things like that, that would repower it. And
we've had the repower, which was going from a Volvo Penta D6 350 to a Volvo D6 380, so we've gone up 30 horsepower. We've actually changed our props where we were running D4s before to D3s on this, and it seems very happy with that and quite economical. Cruises at about 20 knots comfortably, 2800 RPM. And at that we're running around about 2.5 litres per nautical mile. So that equates, I think from memory, to about 1.3 litres per kilometre, which for the size of the boat is, I think, pretty economical.
It got custom painted white as well for the client, because the original one was white as well. 31 knots was the top speed that we had on the day of testing. We reconfigured the dash, so the dash was had some really old Ray Marine screens in it. We've pulled them out and put glass cockpit screens in, so twin 12-inch screens. And it's all EVC, electronic vessel control, so it's all fly-by-wire. Part of the EVC, we've obviously put, it's all touch button start, so no keys anymore, just swipe a fob, press a button and off it goes.
So the performance of this, the only one we can compare it against is my friend's, and it is noticeable that there is an improvement in performance over the 350.
We pretty much rewired half the boat just from the helm back to the engine, and then Andrew just added to the list from that point forward.
We've put solar panels on top to, I think they're 150 watt solar panels. We've put a Garmin radar on board. Under your seat there we've put a refrigerated unit into the ice box. Has now made that a nice chiller box. It does have a fridge down below, but this one is running all the time. New lights down the stern underwater. They give it a lovely blue light at night.
We've tried to get the boat to a point where it's an off-the-grid sort of boat. You can go out, go down the Prom or anything like that, or Deal Island, or even head to Tassie, and still be sufficient with power and have fresh water on board and be reliable too. At cruising speed, we're sort of sitting around 20 knots at about 2,800 RPM. We're using around about 45 litres an hour. So just for argument's sake, 750 litre tank, we'll sort of get about 280 nautical miles out of that, so about 500 Ks. So it's pretty impressive on a single engine, at cruising. There's plenty of distance with that engine and that tank of fuel.
The trips that I want to do are mainly, well, apart from a bit of fishing and cruising in the bay, I want to get outside, head down to Wilson's Prom, do some of the Bass Strait Islands.
I'd prefer having a diesel engine in a boat than twin petrols. just for reliability factor, longevity of the engine, fuel. Obviously, it's not as flammable as petrol.
We tried to have a little race today. We had the old boat, or the friend's boat, up against this one, and
the drag race. So that was quite good actually. Yeah, we obviously had Andrew's boat there, and obviously and very good client of mine, Mim, and we did a great setup, down at Mount Martha near the beach boxes there, and and dropped the flag and off we went, and it was quite interesting. We're sort of level. I was on Mim's boat, and we were sort of quite level for a bit. Then Andrew's boat just had the top end speed and power and just sort of took off on us. So it was quite good to see that obviously the old technology to the new technology now is a big improvement there.
Yeah, today we had we were fortunate enough to have Matt and his son River coming on. So a little bit of fishing, a little bit of cruising, a little bit of eating, a little bit of fun, and a lot of bullshit probably.
It's such a stable boat out on the water. Like some of the stuff that we've been doing with it and testing it. When we first put the engine in and some of the rough water we went out in, it's actually a really stable, seaworthy boat. So I have no hesitation heading that boat out to Bass Strait, in some pretty average seas and come home safe. It's been a long process. It's probably taken us a good 3 months to get it, from start to finish. The day that we actually finally got it finished and in the water, and we did some water testing with it, I think the whole project and how it all came about and everything, I think it was all forgotten at that stage. I think he finally got the boat in the water, it was ready to go, he could go and use it.
Anyone considering buying a second-hand boat would be very advised to get it fully checked out by a reputable mechanic. If it's got diesel engines in it, I would really recommend pulling the injectors out, checking the bores for any possible water ingress. Just get a full check out of the boat. Do compression tests on the engine, see what the electrics are like, get on board, see what does and doesn't work, and then try and work out what you might have to spend on it.
Biggest advice is make sure you get it checked before you buy any boat and take it home, because it can cost you a lot of money afterwards.